Welcome back to Grand Sumo Highlights. This is day 6 of the January tournament. From the home of sumo, the Kokuikan, Shin Ozeki Aonishiki has a big match today against fellow 4-1 Rikishi Takayasu. That is one of our highlight bouts today. Currently, there are 2 men undefeated, both at 5-0. Both are Maegashira, Abi and Oshoma. We begin with Shishi and Hatsuyama. Today is Shishi's 29th birthday, while his opponent Hatsuyama still has no wins in his debut. Shishi getting off to a strong start, and he makes quick work of Hatsuyama. Hatsuyama now 0-6. Ouch. Shishi wins on his birthday, and he is up to 4-2 with that oshidashi. Here's another look. Shishi shoves out Hatsuyama. Here's Oshoumi and Mitakeumi. Both men doing well. Oshoumi 4-1, while Mitakeumi is 3-2. Oshoumi looks like he has a future in the top division. Mitakeumi is 9 years older. They crash into each other. Oshoumi with a strong left hand outside grip, and he uses that for the Yorikiri force out. So Oshoumi continues to impress. He's up to 5-1. His name on the leaderboard. This is his second tournament in the top division. Mitakeumi, the heavier, bigger Rikishi, but Oshoumi with better leverage and a stronger Deashi. Up now, Tobizaru and Asahakuryu. Asahakuryu, the other debutant in the top division, he is at 3-2. Tobizaru with 4 straight losses coming into this match. They kind of come in at an angle at the tachi-ai. Hard to say who has the stronger grip at this stage. Tobizaru with the right hand inside, Asahakuryu with the left hand outside. Foot sweep attempt by Tobizaru is ineffective. And he tries it again. This time he makes better contact on the shin of Asahakuryu. The grips haven't changed at all with the 2 Rikishi. They're pretty much in the center of the dohyo. So who's going to make a move? Asahakuryu stepping forward. Tobizaru rallies. Now Asahakuryu lifts up Tobizaru and pins him at the edge and wins by Yorikiri. So that match took a while, but in the end, it was the Shinyu Maku Asahakuryu who is the winner. He's up to 4-2. Here are Asanoyama and Tomokaze. Asanoyama, after an opening day defeat, has run off 4 straight wins, while Tomokaze is at 2-3. Pretty big hit by the former Ozeki, and he gets dropped by Tomokaze. So Asanoyama's footwork kind of shaky in that match as he drops his second bout in this tournament. Tomokaze evens his record at 3-3 with that Tsukiotoshi thrust down. So everything looked good for Asanoyama until the end. as Tomokaze steps to the side and wins by thrust down. Our first bout of the day between co-leader Abi and Asakoryu. They're meeting for the very first time. You recall that Abi won the Yusho in November of 2022 when he was ranked at Maegashira 9. He is Maegashira 12 this basho against Asakoryu. Abi with a strong pushing attack. Abi able to extend his arms and show his best stuff. Abi with a 6th straight win, this coming by Tsukidashi thrust out. So Abi knows he will have at least a share of the lead when the action is over here on day 6. Looking very strong is Abi at a low rank for him, Maegashira 12. Up next are Ryuden and Nishiki Fuji. Nishiki Fuji currently 3-2. Ryuden with 4 straight losses and struggling to stay up in Makuno Uchi. Ryuden at Maegashira 15. Fast out of the crouch is Nishiki Fuji, but Ryuden looking determined to end his losing streak. He really needed that win. Ryuden is the victor by Yorikiri force out. So he ends his losing streak and improves to 2-4. On the dojo now, it's Midori Fuji and Koto Shoho. Mirror records. Off they go. Koto Shoho immediately with a left hand outside grip, but the Gyoji points his goodbye to Midori Fuji. That's a surprise. And it surprised the judges. They step up because they want to talk about the ending of this match. It sure looked like Koto Shoho was the winner, but the judges will sort it out. Although the Gyoji gave the gunbai to Midori Fuji, we discussed if both landed on the clay at the same time. Upon review, we saw that Midori Fuji was thrown out of the ring first. Therefore, the winner is Koto Shoho. So indeed, Koto Shoho was the winner by Yoritaoshi crush out. And as a result, Koto Shoho improves to 4-2. Midori Fuji now at 2-4. Here's Chiyoshoma and Roga. Both are at 2-3. The average weight is 158 kilograms, and Roga is right there at 159. Chiyoshoma was slow to get up yesterday, but is fighting today. Pretty good thrusting attack by Chiyoshoma, but he's giving up ground. Chiyoshoma was all upper body action in that match, and Roga, after getting moved back, was able to dig in and then force out Chiyoshoma. And there you see the result of Chiyoshoma's match yesterday. Still limping around is Chiyoshoma. Roga the winner by Yorikiri. Here's Toki Hayate and Kim Bozan. A contrast in physiques. Kim Bozan with long arms. Toki Hayate light at 132 kilograms. Fast start though by Toki Hayate. Kim Bozan uses his reach advantage. For that Yorikiri, you saw Kim Bozan immediately grab Toki Hayate's mawashi with his left hand. And that was a solid grip. A tsuridashi lift out by Kim Bozan. Here's Gonoyama and Fujinokawa. Fujinokawa has really injected a lot of excitement. His speed, agility, and surprising strength make him fun to watch. Gonoyama has a great tachi-ai, but poor follow-through. Big hit by Gonoyama, but look at Fujinokawa circle around. Look at the abuse that Fujinokawa is taking, and yet he responds by knocking down Gonoyama. It was a brief match, but a very exciting one for sumo fans at the Kokugikan. Fujinokawa improving to 5-1, and his name is on the leaderboard. Gonoyama with a vicious tachi-ai. But Fujinokawa stays alive. He circles to his right or left. Look at Gonoyama with the slaps, the roundhouse slaps, and yet Fujinokawa is able to take all that punishment and still is able to mount his own pushing attack. Here are Onokatsu and Shodai. Onokatsu forced out Shodai in their first meeting in November. Shodai, the former Ozeki, at Maegashira 8. Shodai with both arms inside, and he's trying to outmuscle Onokatsu, but Onokatsu, once he broke the grip of Shodai, was able to use his superior size and strength to push out Shodai. It's an oshidashi. Onokatsu evens his record at 3-3. Here's Oshoma and Churano Umi. Oshoma on the left is a co-leader, while Churano Umi head-to-head against Oshoma leads 4-2. Oshoma 5-0 for the first time in his Makuuchi career. He hits and shifts Oshoma, but Churanomi stays in the ring. Neither man can get a grip. It's a thrusting battle at the moment, and Churanomi thrusts out Oshoma, but wait. The head judge raises his hand. Ooh, it was close at the edge. The Gyoji pointed his gunbai to Churano Umi. But let's take a look at the feet of Oshoma. Although the Gyoji gave the gunbai to Churano Umi, it appeared both landed on the clay at the same time. Upon review, we confirmed that Oshoma stepped out first. Therefore, the winner is Churano Umi. So that means Oshoma no longer tied for the lead. He suffers his first loss. Instead, it's Churano Umi who wins by oshidashi. He's at 3-3. Here's another look. It was close at the edge, but clearly, even in real time, Churano Umi pushed out Oshoma. They were really mixing it up throughout this match. Up now, we have Hirado Umi and Atami Fuji. Both are at 3-2. The quickness and agility of Hirado Umi versus the immense size of Atami Fuji. He's won 3 in a row. Hirado Umi using his speed to slam into Atami Fuji, but Atami Fuji stonewalls Hirado Umi and then escorts him backwards. A no doubt Yorikiri win for Atami Fuji. He improves to 4-2. Up next, Tamawashi and Hakuno Fuji. Tamawashi born in November of 1984. Hakuno Fuji born in August of 2003. But the old man leads the young one 4-1, head-to-head. Hakuno Fuji coming in very low on Tamawashi. Tamawashi unable to get anything going with his pushing attack. So this has to favor Hakuno Fuji, and he finishes off the Iron Man. Hakuno Fuji with a Yorikiri force-out victory. He's up to 4-2. Tamawashi at 2-4. The quickness of Hakuno Fuji on display in that match. He was fast at the tachiai and didn't allow Tamawashi to extend his arms at all. Hakuno Fuji won this match at the tachiai. Hakuno Fuji going chest to chest on Tamawashi. Tamawashi is not a grappler, so he's on the defensive throughout this bout. Here's Uda and Yoshino Fuji. Their 3 previous bouts took place last year. Yoshino Fuji winning 2 of 3. Uda is winless, but he always makes the matches exciting. Uda coming in fast on Yoshino Fuji. Yoshino Fuji grabbing the arm of Uda. Surges forward, but Yoshino Fuji responds. Uda made it interesting, but Yoshino Fuji, given his pedigree, given his size and skills, really not threatened at all by Uda. So Yoshino Fuji picks up his 4th win by Oshitaoshi pushdown. And Uda is still winless at 0-6. Yoshino Fuji clamping on to the right arm of Uda for the victory. Here are Oho and Wakamoto Haru. Wakamoto Haru winless, but he has a huge series lead against Oho, 10-3. Oho at 2-3 in this tournament. Wakamoto Haru immediately grabbing the front of Oho's Moashi, but Oho has a double arm inside grip and he tips over Wakamoto Haru. Yet the Gyoji points his Gumbai to Wakamoto Haru. Looked like Oho had flattened Wakamoto Haru, but the Gyoji pointed it to Wakamoto Haru. And we get no review. So the win does go to Wakamoto Haru, and he continues his dominance over Oho, which is a surprise. That is Wakamoto Haru's first victory this tournament. So let's get a look at the slow motion replay. Wakamoto Haru gets the Maemitsu grip and looks like he's controlling the flow of this match. And then Oho slips both arms inside and looks like he's in control. But at the edge, it's an uchari by Wakamoto Haru. One of the most dynamic moves in sumo. He uses that backward pivot throw. Up next, Kirishima and Ichi Yamamoto. Ichi Yamamoto 1-4 so far against a difficult slate of opponents. Kirishima looking in good condition. He's at 4-1. Ichi Yamamoto is a tall guy, but he comes in low. Kirishima looking for an opening inside, it appears, and he shoves out Ichi Yamamoto. But wait, the Gyoji pointed his gunbai to Yamamoto. It looked clear that Kirishima was the winner. So we'll have a mono-e. Although the Gyoji gave his gunbai to Yamamoto, after our review we saw that Kirishima stayed in the ring when Yamamoto stepped out. Therefore the winner is Kirishima. So the Gyoji mistakenly pointed his gunbai to Yamamoto, but that was corrected.
ただいまの決まり手は押し出し。追い手風部屋。
Here are Kotozakura and Daeisho.
東方大関琴櫻。
Kotozakura got off to a strong start, 3-0, but he has dropped his last 2 matches. Daeisho at the same time, his pushing has been completely out of rhythm. He's 1-4. Not a strong push by Daeisho, and it's in fact Kotozakura who's doing most of the pushing in that match. Kotozakura winning by tsukidashi thrust out. So Daeisho really struggling in this first week. He's 1-5. Kotozakura ends his losing streak and is up to 4-2.
ただいまの決まり手は突き出し。突き出して琴櫻の勝ち。
Kotozakura rarely uses oshizumo, but against Daeisho, he uses that technique and looks good doing it. Thrust out win. Our second bout of the day features 2 4-1 rikshi. Shin Ozeki Aonishiki versus Sekiwake Takayasu.
東方
Here's how it has played out previously. Aonishiki with a 2-1 edge.
土浦市出身田子の浦部屋。
Takayasu will turn 36 next month, but is fighting like a young man. While Aonishiki is doing quite well in his Ozeki debut. Off they go. It's a Tsupari battle to start. Now Aonishiki has a left hand inside grip. Takayasu struggling to break that grip, but is unsuccessful. So Aonishiki, in his usual low stance, is able to take care of Takayasu. He's up to 5-1.
ただいまの決まり手は寄り切り。
Takayasu has a huge upper body, but that doesn't bother Aonishiki. He uses a bit of tsupari to establish an inside position, and then he slips the left hand inside. And he uses that to raise the upper body of Takayasu, and Takayasu, from that position, cannot hold his ground. As a result, it is a Yorikiri force-out victory for the Ozeki. Here are Yokozuna Hoshoryu and Maegashira 3 Takanosho. Hoshoryu's only loss on day 3 to Yoshino Fuji. Takanosho not looking good at all, 0-5. But he can turn things around by upsetting Hoshoryu. They come in at an angle, not a direct hit at the tachiai, and Hoshoryu doesn't break a sweat, calmly slapping down Takanosho for his 5th victory. That's a hataki komi.
ただいまの決まり手は叩き込み。
Not threatened at all by Takanosho today. Hoshoryu slaps down the Maegashira. Takanosho's pushing has disappeared this tournament. Our final match of the day pits Ono Sato and Wakataka Kage. Ono Sato at 4-1. He has a 6-2 record against Wakataka Kage. Wakataka Kage comes out fast at the tachiai, but getting moved straight back by the Yokozuna. Wakataka Kage surges forward, but Onosato calmly steps to his left and then drops. The Maegashira 2, it's a Hatakikomi win for the Yokozuna Onosato. He's up to 5-1 with that slap down.
ただいまの決まり手は叩き込んで大野里の勝ち。
Onosato, when he gets into trouble, it's because he's impatient. But in this match, he shows good patience. Waits for his opening and slaps down Wakataka Kage. He also showed very good ring sense, Onosato, knowing exactly how much room he had to work with behind him on the dohyo. And he steps back for the victory. So after 6 days of action, Abi is all alone in first place with 7 Bigshi, 1 step behind, led by the 2 Yokozuna. A reminder, NHK World Japan will broadcast live coverage of Day 8 on January 18th this Sunday from 5:10 p.m. Japan time. That wraps up Grand Sumo Highlights.